We are going to start this morning in a child's pose. I did want to tell you, props are not necessary in yoga, but they're very helpful. So if you have a yoga block, you might want to bring it in the future. It does become helpful in certain poses, sometimes even two. Again, it's not necessary, but I'll show you some things today that we do where a block would come in handy. So if that's something, they're very inexpensive. You can get them at Amazon or Five Below. If it's something you want to add to your yoga practice, it's certainly a great thing to have. So we're going to start in a child's pose. So coming in onto your mat into a tabletop position, you're going to bring the big toes to touch. You're going to take your knees out towards the sides of your mat and begin to sink down towards your heels. So if this is too much, you can always use a blanket. You could always sit on a block. It's a good place for a block. Otherwise, just kind of begin to settle in. And if this is too much on the inner thighs, you can bring the knees back in. So we're just trying to find a place of centering. So begin to walk the hands out. And then you're going to place your forearms on the mat and just try to draw the chest down towards the mat. Placing the forehead on the mat. And just coming into your breath. Breathing in. Breathing out. And just forgetting about whatever happened this morning. Just focusing this next 45 minutes or so on you and your practice and your breath. Taking about 5 more breaths here. Just noticing with each exhalation as you start to relax, you might be able to release the shoulders, release that chest down a little bit further, just letting everything melt into the mat. And then slowly begin to walk the hands over towards your right hip. Maybe sending that left arm just a little bit longer, feeling a nice stretch in that side left body. Sending the breath there, just loosening up here. Slowly walk the hands back to center. Continue moving them over to the left side this time. Just feeling a nice lengthening in that right side body. And then slowly walking the hands back to center. Walking them back up towards your hips and knees and just coming to a seat. So we're going to start our practice this afternoon with a few yin poses. So I'm going to face you so you can see here. So just bending your left knee, sending your right leg out long. This is a half butterfly. So we're just going to begin to walk our hands out in front of us. Again, kind of like that child's pose and just settling in here. So in our yin poses versus our vinyasa, we're kind of balancing effort with ease. So in our yin poses, we typically hold these poses slightly longer so that you can come to your edge. Maybe it's a little discomfort. If you're in any kind of pain, you want to back out of it a little bit, but just letting everything settle, not engaging anything. So just trying to go a little bit deeper with each exhalation and just notice if that happens as you start to settle in. Just letting gravity draw you down towards the earth. Take 3 more breaths. And then slowly begin to walk those hands back up. Just switching sides, extending the left leg long, bending the right knee, keeping that foot flexed, and then beginning to walk your hands out in front of you. Just finding that surrender, finding that stillness, disengaging the muscles. So in our yin poses, we're working into the fascia, which connects everything, connects the muscles, the bones, the joints. So by holding poses for a long time and settling in with your breath, you're releasing that fascia. Taking 3 more breaths. Slowly begin to walk the hands back up. And then just bringing the feet together. You're just going to make your way to the top of your mat. Keeping the knees bent, we're going to come into a ragdoll here. So grabbing opposite elbows, you're just going to begin to draw down to the earth, letting that head hang heavy, keeping a slight bend in the knees, and just trying to settle in here. So rather than rocking side to side, just trying to let gravity draw you down, draw the elbows down, maybe even releasing the hands, having the palms face up. And just breathe. Letting all the tension go in the back of the neck. Notice if there's any tension in the jaw. If the teeth are clenched, just release the jaw. Maybe closing your eyes. Breathing in, breathe out. And then beginning to lengthen the spine here. Wiggle walk the feet out towards the sides of your mat. So your toes are out, your heels are in. We're going to come down to a yogi squat. Again, taking this as more of a yin type of yogi squat. So rather than really trying to engage and press the knees open, just take the palms, face up and just laying them on the earth, rounding the spine. And again, just trying to settle in here. Letting the head be heavy. This could be another place for a block. If you're not comfortable, you could always sit on a block here. And then beginning to straighten the legs. Just toe heel the feet back together. We're going to step back to our first downward facing dog. So hips are up to the ceiling. Maybe the heels are touching the floor. It's perfectly fine if they're not. Walking your dog a little bit here, bending the right knee, bending the left knee. Maybe taking the hips side to side, just whatever feels good to you. Really stretching it way back. From here, picking up the right foot and just stepping it towards your right thumb. Drop the left knee down, arms come up high. So sinking into that front knee, making sure that knee is over the ankle, and then taking the right arm to the back of the room, left arm to the front of the room for a twist. Breathe in, breathe out. Bringing the arms back up towards the ceiling. Now take the left arm to the back of the room, right arm to the front of the room. Option to stay here, or you could bring that right hand down to the inside of that foot. Again, if it didn't make it there, this will be a good place for a block. So just pressing in here, and if the hand's down, taking that left arm up high. So using tension between the tricep and the inner thigh, so you're pressing in here. And then if your arm's down, just bringing it back up. Surround that front foot, step it back to a high plank. Lower halfway. Inhale to your up dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your down dog. So your first vinyasa, stretching it way back. Lifting that left foot, stepping it through to meet your thumb. Drop the back knee. Arms come up high. On the inhale, left arm to the back of the room, right arm to the front. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bringing the arms back up high. Left arm front, right arm back. Option to stay here or bring that left hand down, right arm high. Pressing that knee open. Slowly bringing it back to center. Arms come up high. Surround that front foot. Step it back and either move through that same vinyasa, or you can always go right to down dog. Pedaling out the feet again, just notice if this down dog feels a little different as you start to get warm and create heat in the body. And then stretching the heels way back, look towards the top of your mat, bend your knees, slowly walk the feet to meet the hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw down deep. Inhale, arms reach, palms touch. On the exhale, right arm to the back of the room, left arm to the front, just like we did on the ground. Inhale brings it back to center. Exhale, left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale, back to center. This time we're going to goal post the arms, draw the elbows down, tiny back bend. Inhale, come back to center, hinging forward. Exhale, fold down deep. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, surround the feet, step back, and either flow or go right to your down dog. From here, we're going to lift the right leg high. Step it through to meet your thumb. Spin that back heel flat, rising up to your warrior one. So you want to make sure you're powering out through the outer edge of that left foot, sinking into that front knee. From here, take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, draw your knuckles down towards your mat, draw the shoulder blades together, and we're going to fold forward here. Either letting that chest rest on the thigh or taking that right elbow or that right shoulder to the inside of that right knee. Letting the head go. Slowly bring it back up to center, release the hands, arms come back up high, opening up into your warrior two. So adjusting the feet so that front heel should be in line with the inner arch of that back heel. Sinking into that front knee, making sure that knee is tracking over the second and third toe, drawing the shoulders down. Feeling the back edge of that outer left foot, sealing into the mat, everything's grounding down. Breath in, breath out. Flip the front palm, begin to hinge forward, painting the ceiling with your fingertips, reversing that warrior. Option for that left arm to just stay here on the back leg, or it can bind behind you, still sinking into that front knee. Coming back to that breath. One more breath. Peeling back open to that warrior two, we're going into side angle. So taking that right elbow to the inside of that knee again. Option if you have a block, you can place your hand on a block, on the shin, on the floor, taking that left arm up high. Pressing the knee into the elbow, elbow into the knee. Look down at that right foot. Take your hand to the outside of the foot towards the pinky. We're going to move into half moon here. So grounding down through that right big toe, you're going to begin to lift off, lift that left leg off the mat, keeping the foot flexed, rotating the hip open, and then option to stay here, or you can flower that left arm up high. Breathe in, breathe out. Square off the hip, lower that left arm down to surround the foot, just coming into a standing split here. So just keeping that left leg long, foot is flexed, option to stay here, or you can begin to come a little bit deeper if you want to grab that ankle. Keeping a slight bend in that knee, we'll raise that left leg a little bit higher. Bending into that front knee, begin to send that left leg all the way back. Drop the back knee, wiggle walk that right foot out slightly. We're coming into lizard. So taking the arms, both arms to the inside of that right foot, scooching that knee back. And then option to stay here, or you can come down onto the forearms. Another option here to come to a block. Just releasing that hip. Option to rotate out on that pinky edge if you want to take that a little bit further. So just a nice hip flexor stretch here. Three more breaths. And if your arms are down, just begin to walk them back up. Surround that front foot. Curl that back toe. Come back to your high plank here. Hold it. So really engage the core. Draw that navel into the spine. And then slowly with control, coming all the way down to your belly. Flipping the toes so the tops of the feet are on the earth, coming into a locust pose. So sending your arms back behind you. Palms can either face up or face down. It's kind of like you're kissing your mat. And then on the inhale, you're going to begin to lift everything up off of the earth. Then slowly lower down. Taking one more set of that option, same option, or you can interlace the hands behind the back, drawing the knuckles down, begin to lift everything up. Feet can stay on the ground or they can come with you. Then slowly begin to lower everything down. Take your right arm out to the side. Flip your palm so that your thumb is pointing towards your feet. Pressing into the earth with your left hand, we're going to begin to rotate on that right hip. So this is a nice shoulder opener option. You can take that left foot. If it's available, it can come behind you. And using that left hand as leverage, you can either take it as deep or as shallow as you want, either staying here. Option, you can bring that left arm back for a bind, or you can even interlace fingers here, stretching it out. Breathe in, breathe out. And slowly release whatever posture you're in, making your way back to your belly the way we began. Moving through a tabletop, curling the toes, coming back to your downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Lift the left leg high. Exhale, step it through to meet your thumb. Spin that back heel flat, rising up to your warrior one. Settling in, sealing that back edge of that right foot. So your weight's evenly distributed here. Then interlacing the hands behind the back, Drawing the knuckles down, opening that heart, begin to hinge forward, either coming directly onto the thigh or taking that left shoulder to the inside of that left knee. Two more breaths. Slowly begin to peel up. Release the hands. Send the arms open, opening up into your warrior two. So adjusting the feet as needed, sinking into that front knee, making sure it's tracking over that second and third toe. Drawing the shoulders down. Really trying to ground down through that big toe mound of the left foot and the outer edge of the right foot. Breath in, breath out. Flipping the front palm, begin to hinge forward, painting the ceiling with your left hand, this time reversing that warrior. That leg is not going anywhere. It's still sinking down. That right arm can track, or it can come behind you and bind. Breathe in, breathe out. Peeling back open to your warrior two, coming right down into that side angle. Left elbow comes to the inside of that left leg. Again, option to use a block here. It can track down, sending that right arm high. Using that arm to open up the knee. Breath in, breath out. Looking down at that left foot, bring that hand to the outer edge of the foot this time, pressing off, grounding down, pressing up into your half moon here. Rotating the hip open, keeping the foot flexed. Bringing the right hand down to meet the left, squaring off the hip, finding your way into that half split. So option to stay here, you can give a little micro bend in that knee, you can draw the head in towards the knee, whatever's in your practice. Bending into that front knee, send that right leg all the way back. Dropping that back knee, wiggle walk that left foot out slightly, bring the hands to the inside of the left foot. And same options here, if you just want to stay here, roll out on the pinky edge of that left foot, or you can begin to come down to the forearms, come down to a block. Just settling in. Coming back to the breath. Using the breath to try to get you a little bit deeper as you settle. If you're on the forearms, begin to make your way back up. Surrounding that foot, stepping it back to your high plank, holding here, engaging the core, drawing the elbows and the biceps in, keeping the gaze slightly forward. Slowly lowering down all the way to the belly. So from here, we're going to take half of a bow pose. So extend your right arm long in front of you. Your left arm, bend your right leg. Take your arm, come around, grab the top of that foot. You're going to begin to lift the chest as you press the top of the foot into the hand into the foot. Then slowly lower it all the way down, taking it to the other side. Right arm comes out in front of you, bending the left knee, grabbing the top of the foot. On the inhale, beginning to lift the arm, the head and heart as you press foot into hand, hand into foot. So the quadricep is really engaged here. Slowly lower it all the way down. Take the left arm out to the side this time. Flip the palm so the thumb is pointed towards your toes. Pressing in to the earth with your right hand. Just begin to lift that leg up and coming over onto that left shoulder. Maybe placing the foot behind you if that's available. And then same option to stay here. You can take that right arm behind you. You can interlace the fingers. Feel a nice stretch in that anterior part of the shoulder. And then begin to unwind, coming back to where we started on your belly. Pressing into the mat, making your way up to a tabletop, finding your way back to downward facing dog. And then just notice here again, probably feels different, a little looser. Maybe walking your dog a few times, or maybe you're staying still. And then looking towards the front of your mat, bend your knees, walking your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, we lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw down deep. Inhale, arms reach, palms touch. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the heart. Just settling back into the breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. So coming into a little bit of balance here. We're going to do hand to big toe, or if that's not available, you can simply just do it with the knee. So draw the right knee into the chest here. If it's available, grab the big toe with those peace fingers and begin to extend that right leg long. Again, option, you can just stay with the knee. That's perfectly fine. And then option with either the knee, or if you have a grip on that toe, just extend that right leg out to the side. Slowly bring it back to center, release the grip, and then just send that right leg back behind you for warrior three. So we're getting hinging forward, extending long through that right foot. And then slowly just lower that right leg down to meet the left. Shake it out if you need to, roll around the ankles. Coming into the other side. So drawing that left knee into the chest. Either staying here, or if you want to grab that big toe, Inhale, drawing the shoulders back. And then exhale, extend it long. This is also a good place for if you have a towel or a strap. That's another great yoga prop. Or a scarf works too. And then if you have a grip, just taking it out to the side, or if you have the knee, just taking it out to the side. Then slowly bring it back to center. If you have a grip on that toe, just release it, sending it back to your warrior three. So powering out through that left foot, grounding down through the right foot. And then bending into that right knee, left foot meets the right. And again, just shake it out if you need to. Roll around the ankles a few times. And then arms come up high. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, draw down deep. Just going through that again. Inhale, arms reach, palms touch. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And on the exhale, just surround the feet and just come to a seat here. So just coming into some hip work. Into cow face. So you're going to bend your left knee. And then you're going to take your right knee and place it on top of the left. So if this is too much, if it's not available, again, option, you can always place a block between the legs here. Or if it's too much, you can just extend the legs out. You can even just cross at the ankles. So just find a comfortable spot here. Settling in, rooting the hips into the earth. And then either staying where you are or beginning to fold forward here. Another yin pose where we sometimes hold this for long periods of time so we can just settle in, releasing that connective tissue from the outer hips. Breathe in, breathe out. If you're out front, just slowly walk the hands back towards the hips and just switching sides. So placing the right leg down onto the earth, left foot comes on top. Again, if you need to cross at the ankles, just whatever is available to you today. And then finding length and then beginning to fold forward here. Maybe walking the hands out. Slowly begin to walk back up. Just unravel the legs and just take the feet to the outer edges of your mat and just taking a couple windshield wipers here. So just taking the legs to the right and to the left. And then keeping the feet right here, just slowly roll down onto your back. Taking one set of bridge here. So drawing the heels in towards the bum. Either keeping the hands by the sides of your mat, or you can interlace them once we lift. So you're raising the hips up towards the ceiling. Arms can either grab the edges of your mat and pull your mat apart, or you can wiggle walk the shoulders in and interlace the fingers, drawing the knuckles down towards the feet. Coming back to that breath. Slowly begin to release the shoulders if the hands are clasped, and then just slowly lower down, top, middle, bottom, and just placing the soles of the feet together, just opening the knees here for a breath. Bringing the knees back together, drawing them into the chest, just rotating the hips around, nice hip circles here to the right. And then take them the other way a few times. Drawing them both into the chest, take the right hand to the outer edge of that left knee and just begin to draw the knees down towards your right. So taking a nice side twist here. Grabbing opposite shoulders, so just giving yourself a hug here. So grabbing the shoulders, feeling a nice side stretch in the IT band as well as the shoulders. And then slowly drawing the knees back up to the center, drawing them into the chest. Take the left hand to the outside of that right knee, draw the legs over towards the left. Grabbing the shoulders, switching the hands. So if your left hand was on top last time, just switch the hands. Grabbing the shoulders. Slowly bringing them back up to center. So coming into happy baby here. So grabbing either the outer or the inner arches of the feet, you're going to begin to draw the knees down towards the armpits. This can be a static pose or it can be dynamic. So you can either stay or you can maybe rock side to side a few times, just whatever feels good to you here. Drawing the knees back into the chest, send the legs up towards the ceiling. Feet are flexed like you're trying to press through the ceiling. Keeping the arms down by your sides, begin to slowly lower that right leg all the way down to the earth. As soon as it gets there, follow it with the left. And just settling into your Shavasana here. So letting the feet splay out. Maybe the palms are on your mat, maybe they're facing the ceiling. But whatever you're doing, just finding this place of surrender, finding this place of letting go. It's the ease versus the effort. So just letting everything settle here, knowing that you're fully supported by the earth, letting the shoulders relax, the eyelids, the jaw, the hips. Nothing left to do. The work is done. Just thanking yourself for showing up this afternoon, dedicating this time to yourself and to your practice. Knowing that we can't take care of others unless we take care of ourselves.